We got a very special guest here today, Mr. Josh Todd from Buckcherry. Welcome.
How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you on here, Josh. And we're going to be talking about this new album, Roar Like Thunder, which came out almost 2 weeks ago. Album number 11 already. It's hard to believe you guys have released that many all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, over 25 years and the
Yeah.
11th record. I'm very grateful.
Yeah, not many bands have been around as long as you guys make a concerted effort, to keep on making new music with such regularity. What kind of keeps you striving to keep making the new music?
Passion, I love music to this day. I enjoy writing songs, finding a good song, you know what I mean? Making a great record.
So what do you find to be the most challenging aspect of creating new music?
The most challenging aspect probably is just, finding great hooks, great melodies and just putting it all together, I mean, that's always a challenge, but it's fun, when you've been doing this for as long as we've been doing it, when you're working that muscle, you know what I mean? Like you're always putting out records on a regular basis, all I want to do is learn more, get better at songwriting, get better at singing, you know what I mean? Find out more about, lyric writing and melodies, and it's still very interesting to me.
Yeah, even 25 years later down the road, it's amazing. All right. Well, I picked out four songs off the new album. I just want to see if you can kind of take us through them, like how they came to be real quick and kind of how the songwriting process works between obviously Stevie D, Marty Fredrickson, and yourself.
Yep.
First song I got up here, I've got When the Sun Goes Down.
Yeah, when the sun goes down. Well, I mean, I write all the lyrics, so I think that particular song, so, we've written so many songs, I can't remember how that melody. I think Marty scattered a melody, and I liked it, and so I wrote off his melody, and I don't know if I already had "When the Sun Goes Down" out there, or if it was one of his hooks, and I just wrote from that perspective, but it's about my childhood, uh back in the day, I grew up in Orange County, California, and I was too young to go to clubs, so we went to house parties, as kids, and that was where it was at. Somebody would pool their money together and buy a keg, and it'd be like $3 at the door, and there'd be keg of beer flowing until the cops broke it up, and then you go to another house party. But like the song is about, a girl, at some point, a girl would come into the party that was just hotter than every girl there, and it would just kind of stop time, with the guys, they would all just kind of stop and stare, and that's really what the song's about. Here she comes.
And the next song is, man, this song I just love. This is the one that really stands out for me on the album more so than some of the other ones, and that's Set It Free.
Yeah. Yeah, Set Yourself Free. It's like this good mid-tempo song, and we called it the Billy Squire song for a while, because the music sounds like Billy Squire, and until we gave it a name and a face, with the melodies and lyrics, and but it's a real fun part of the set now, uh it's really about staying focused on your passion, and there's a lot of distractions these days, especially with how we get information. People's attention spans are getting much shorter because they're inundated with information, so I think it's harder to stay focused on what it is you want to accomplish in your life, and that's what the song's about.
Yeah. And Hello Goodbye I have up next.
Yeah, hello, goodbye is like Marty came in with that whole song. It was pretty much done. The hello goodbye part, and he was just scatting the melodies, and I really liked it. So I took his idea and I ran with it and finished the words. And it's about relationships, and It's just it sounds like the Beatles, and we just loved it immediately. It's a really good song, and when I started singing on it, it just all kind of came together. Everybody loved it, so that's how it made the record.
All right, and the last one I'll bring up here is the last song on the album, "Let It Burn."
Yeah, Let It Burn. I mean, originally that was going to be the first single, because we loved it so much, and but uh LA had caught on fire at that point in time, and it just wasn't a good idea to release a song called Let It Burn. Of course, it has nothing to do with that, but it just wasn't appropriate for us, so we shifted gear to Roar Like Thunder. But Let It Burn is one of the first songs we wrote. It's just a barn burner. It's really about the Viking ship and the Buckcherry and what we're like when we're out on the road. We just want to come in and uproot the place and be the best band on the bill. That's really what the song's about. It's about life on the road with Buckcherry.
Yeah, I really like the way that you guys released the singles from the album. It's like every time the single came out, I'm going, "Wow, this is great. When's the album coming out? When's the album coming
Yeah,
out?" I had to
yeah.
keep on looking to find the date again, and I'm going, and it's just simply right away. I knew it was going to be a great album just from the first couple singles you did when you hit them out of the park like that. I
Thanks
know.
so much.
All right, so one of the unique aspects about this band is strange the way your timeline goes. Obviously you guys released your second album and then you went on like a hiatus. You came out with your great solo album there, You Made Me, and toured for that one. And did you know at that point eventually you were going to get back together again and make another album?
No, I knew nothing except I just wanted to continue to, stay busy, and that's what I did. And it all came around, it came back around, and then we had, one of the biggest records of our career with 15 in 2005, and the rest is history. We kept riding the wave.
Yeah, no doubt. Initially, in the press release for the album, I guess you guys re-released it with some bonus tracks on it. Initially, they said you were gonna try to play the entire album in concert. Have those plans changed recently?
No, we did that already, and yeah, now we're playing, we're rotating a lot of 15 songs every night, but no, we have so many songs. We have over 100 songs out there, so yeah.
Yeah, it makes it tough to focus just on one album, especially with a new
Yeah.
album. That's for sure. I totally
Yeah.
understand that. So tell me about your voice. I mean, I don't know how you do it, but how has it changed from the debut till this point in time? What do you do, help keep your voice in such good shape and keep you going here?
Yeah, it's changed dramatically because the debut I was 26, and now I'm 54, so it's just a lot different. I think around 40 I hit a wall. I really had to change my approach to how I was singing the stuff in order to be able to have longevity, and so I got a great vocal coach, Mark Baxter. He's really great. And started really working on his warm-ups and technique, and I warm down now after shows, which I never did in the past, and warm up a lot. I vocalize a lot, which is different than singing, and so I'm constantly practicing for sure.
Okay. Once you found music was what you wanted to do, were at that point were you strictly just going to be a singer, or did you play any other instruments or anything before that?
I mean, my you know what I had a knack for when I started was writing words. I was deep in creative writing. I wrote a lot of poetry and all kinds of stuff before I actually got in a band, and so that's really what came naturally to me. And then, I really wasn't a singer. I don't know why. I was surfing a lot. I wanted to be a professional surfer at one point before I started singing. And I was 15. I was out surfing with a drummer. He was a drummer and a surfer as well. And there was only one band in my high school. And he's like, "Hey, man, we need a singer. Why don't you come down and audition. And I was like, all right. And so I talked my grandfather into buying me a microphone, and I went and there was no PA. I just plugged it into a guitar amp, and it was all distorted, and I was just going for it. And you know, I had something, and they could see that, and then I didn't even know I had something till I started, and then I was like, I want to do this. This is it. I the light bulb went off, and all of a sudden surfing went in the back seat, and it was, all I focused on was music from that point on. And I remember that first rehearsal, I was like, fuck all these covers, man. Let's write an original song. And they're like, what? And I go, yeah. And I just started kind of uh, you know, just running the show, just running the rehearsal. I was like to the guitar player, I'm like, dude, you got a guitar riff, like an original guitar riff? He's like, yeah. And he started noodling around and he found something. I go, I like that. Play that. And then he would like loop that. And then I got down on the floor and I just started writing. And I remember the first song I wrote, it was Bandana Rosanna, right? And I wrote this song and it was just a little punk rock song. We just ripped it out, and it was nothing special, but it was all I needed to get it going. That was it. And even these guys were like, "Okay, you're in the band. Like let's do this." And that was it. And we just started working hard, and we did covers and originals, and we started playing house parties, and that was my start.
Nice, nice. So what do you do when you're not out on the road? Because it seems like you guys are always out on the road, if at least from this aspect of it. What do you do when you're actually at home, and what do you do for fun, relaxation?
Yeah, I play a lot of tennis. That's my hobby. I love to compete. I go surfing a lot with my son. That's a lot of fun for us. We do that, and I spend a lot of time with my family, and that's it.
Now, tennis, do you get a chance to play any while you're out on tour at all, or not
I
really?
do. Yeah, I take
Yeah.
my rackets with me. I play on every day off. And I find matches out on the road. And if you're a 3-5 and above player, and you wanna battle me on a day off, and you can play tennis, just hit me up. We'll do it.
All right. Last question I have for you. Just an interesting take to see what your opinion was on this. So I actually saw Aerosmith once where, believe it or not, they did not play Dream On. I don't know how they skipped it or what happened. There wasn't no short set or anything like that.
Mm.
So having said that, I would almost assume you guys usually always play like the big three, like Sorry and Crazy Bee and Lit Up. Uh, if you ever were to skip one of those, I would almost assume there'd be a big uproar.
Oh yeah, that would not be good. I mean, I call them the usual suspects, and we always play those, and it's fun to play those. Like you don't want to leave out hits. That's everybody knows them, so the crowd goes bananas. And you want that.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, best of luck with the new album here. It's definitely, to me, it's the strongest album I've heard from you guys in the more recent times here. This one stands out more. I don't know why. It's just a really heavy, hard rocking album. I mean, that's basically what fans want. They want the hard, heavy album, and there's no ballads. And I know you guys intentionally did that with no covers, which
Yep.
probably helped add to the album and make it such a stronger effort there. Um, but yeah, I appreciate your time talking about it. Best of luck the rest of the way, and obviously you do guys are out on the road all the way up until August, the end of August there. So I don't know if you want to touch in on the touring real quick there, what we can expect there.
Yeah, we're going to be on the road in the States all throughout the year. We start back in July doing, fairs and festivals, and then in August we're going to be residency with the Scorpions in Vegas. So if you just need a reason to go to Vegas and see Buckcherry, go ahead. Come out and see us. We're playing with the Scorpions. It's going to be a lot of fun, and then we're going to ride out the year, and then we're going to Europe and Japan and Australia and the UK after the first of the year.
All right, sounds like you're in for a busy end of the year here, but best of luck with everything, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, man. Be good.
All right,
Appreciate it.
take care.